Hi everyone, my name's Lily and I'm the book blogger behind Utopia State of Mind, and I'm going to bring you a very late overdue update to the 12 authors, 12 books. I don't even remember what I called it. It is so late. I'm very behind. I have my notepad up here, which tells me how behind I am, but I'm very, very behind. It was like I read a weird combination where like I had paired books together and I kept reading one of them but not the other ones. But I finally have read both, and these are my Backlist pair. So it's basically the Scorpio races and A Study in Charlotte, which I don't have a copy of. But anyway, I'm going to start off first with A Study of Charlotte because why not? So A Study of Charlotte was recommended to me by Chloe Gong. Chloe has written a bunch of books now, but Chloe's written These Violent Delights, Our Violent Ends, and Foully Fortune. Really love those, and so I kind of knew that Chloe was going to pick A Study of Charlotte because we've been chatting about it, and now I hadn't read it, but now I have. So A Study in Charlotte is a YA kind of adaptation of Sherlock Holmes in a boarding school setting. So many things that I love all at once. I think my favorite thing probably were the character dynamics between them. I think that I read a lot of Sherlock Holmes retellings where the relationship between Watson and Sherlock Holmes are already established, and so what I appreciated the most about A Study in Charlotte, or A Study of Charlotte, I can't remember which it is that they look at this relationship before it's founded, or like before it's like established, I guess, and seeing how they get to know each other and meet each other and kind of their first impressions of each other was, I feel like, a really unique take that I hadn't seen in a while. Also, I haven't read a Sherlock Holmes retelling in a very long time, so that could also be it. But it was just really fun to see them kind of interact again. At the beginning, there were a lot of pieces of the adaptation which felt very true to the original. I haven't read the original, but I've seen, with everyone else, I've seen like 20 million adaptations. So I can kind of pick out the threads. It deals with addiction. It deals with like a very prickly Sherlock character. So I really liked the pieces that A Study in Charlotte, or Study of Charlotte, has in it, and kind of keeps sort of relevant to the new setting as well, while also adapting to the new setting. In general, I felt like it was a really fun retelling, and I'm very intrigued to keep reading the series, mostly because I feel like I'm really searching for YA contemporary series to read. They're not really popular. YA fantasy series are really popular, but YA contemporary not so much, and so I'm very intrigued by it, and I probably will continue. Not this year, maybe not next year, but I will continue. So really enjoyed that one. Thank you very much, Chloe. The next one is The Scorpio Races, which was recommended to me by Roshani Chokshi. Roshani has written a bunch of books. My favorite, of course, are the Gilded Wolves trilogy. So in a Skype call that I had with her ages and ages ago, somehow this book came up as a recommendation that I should read, and I finally have read it, and I have interesting thoughts. So I enjoyed the whole water horse thing, and I did like the characters. I felt like it took a very long time to kind of get going, and then I felt like the resolution was not relative to how long it took to get going. I don't know if this is a series, by the way, so maybe it will kind of get resolved or get continued in the future. No idea. But I feel bad. I'm starting off with the things I didn't really like. So anyway, that was kind of confusing to me because you kept reading it and like, okay, it's about a race. When is the race going to start? And then the race starts, and then it's like, oh, race is over. So in terms of pacing, I had a difficult time with some of that. I did really like that it's told in multiple perspectives. It's told with Sean and Puck. I really liked both Sean and Puck. They were really cute characters. I liked their backstories. I felt like Puck's backstory is given a little bit more time to shine, I feel like, than Sean's. And I did empathize a lot with Puck, especially the way that she's coming up against sexism and what they both need. But yeah, and I just wanted a little bit more resolution at the end. And as I said, maybe this is a series, so maybe there's more resolution in the future. But at the end, I was kind of just like, I'm more attached and I want more answers than I have. Also, like a little pet peeve of mine, I guess, is that I really wanted to know more about these water horses. Okay, I felt like I wanted to experience them a little bit more than I did in this. And so I don't know if this is a spoiler, I guess, but like, if you don't want to know, obviously jump ahead. I will let you know when to start watching again. But I was confused about how it's a water horse race, but Puck uses a normal horse pony thing. And I understand why. It was very much explained in the book why, but I just felt like I'm reading about this because water horses, so why not as many? I know that there's a bunch more in Sean's perspective, but yeah, in general I was intrigued by the water horse concept, and then I felt like there could have been more water horses, especially since this was compared recently to Monsters Born and Made, which also has kind of water horse kind of activities, and I felt like there, the trials or the competition, there was more kind of stretching of the pacing, and it worked more than in this one where there's only like one. Also, it said the Scorpio races. I kind of assumed there would be like more like games, you know, kind of like a multi-day affair. But anyway, in general, I liked this. I would definitely recommend it. I guess if you're intrigued in water horses, just know there aren't as many as I would have wanted. But this one was interesting, and I did really like the characters. I'm gonna have to look it up to see if this is a series. This is the paperback. I know that this maybe isn't necessarily the most well-known book from Maggie Stiefvater. I think that it's The Raven Boys is the most well-known. But anyway, I liked this. I just didn't, like, I liked it, but it wasn't something that I loved. You know, like, I would be interested in a sequel if there was one, but I don't know if I would, like, read it immediately. Unlike, you know, in Study in Charlotte, where I am interested in a sequel, I probably will add it to my library hold list. But even if there was a sequel, which I don't know, I'm still like, I don't know. I also felt like there were some interesting themes that were discussed that I would have wanted a little bit more depth in, like the aspect of the sexism. It made my blood boil, but I wanted a little bit more to know about the lore and the history of these races. It is delved into, but I just wanted more. You know, I just wanted to have more insight into it, and more lore, I guess. So I was intrigued by it, and ultimately I'm very glad I did read this, because now it's like something I can check off of my highly hyped like YA bingo card, but I do feel kind of like middle of the road about this one. So anyway, that was my recent update to 12 authors, 12 books. I'm currently reading another one to a different pair, so hopefully I will get caught up. I think I have 3 more books to read. It's November. That's rough. But I hope that I can get a little bit more caught up, or that I'll finish in January and it won't be too late. But anyway, I think I have The Expanse left. I think I have Tract and Codename Verity. So Codename Verity is the one that I'm going to be starting very soon, and that will be paired with, I can't even remember which one, honestly. But I really love this series, and thank you so much to the authors for the recommendations. I'll leave everyone's links below. Please let me know what your thoughts were about this, or actually A Study in Charlotte. I'm really intrigued. Is it worth reading the rest of the series? And also, what did you think of this one? I will see you in the next video and update, and I hope you have a really great reading day, week, month, and year, and bye.